Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs. It's time to talk about Julian Marks, the first commitment for Mizzou in the class of 2025. You heard that correctly. Before we get into that, please, guys, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on X. All right. So Julian Marks goes by Juju. He is a 6'8", 275-pound defensive lineman from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Overland Park, Kansas. Yeah, Mizzou's going after all the St. Thomas Aquinas kids, apparently, 3 from the class of 2024. Different one. That one's in Florida. Anyway, this recruit, Julian Marks, Juju Marks, he is the #1 player, according to Rivals, in the state of Kansas. So nice trash talking fodder for Mizzou fans to use on Jayhawks and Wildcat fans and whoever else in Kansas, going in and grabbing their top player. He's in the Rivals 250. He's a consensus 4-star. And hey, the offer list reflects that. You take a look at it, and a lot of the stronger programs in America all want this dude, right? I looked at his film, and it's interesting looking at his film because he's huge. That is his sophomore year. Filming this in September, right? It's he's 1 or 2 games or whatever he is into his junior year. Okay, so he's got a lot of time to grow and develop and so forth. Right now, he uses his size to his advantage. That's clear. There was one play that stood out to me where with one hand he was keeping the offensive lineman at arm's length, and with the other he got the big paw up there and deflected the pass. It was very impressive and just a sign of his absolute strength. Yeah, he is, for that size, he's very fast. He can kind of blow up the offensive line, get into the backfield, and then chase down a running back who is going to the outside or just trying to get away from him. He's capable of chasing him down, or at the very least, getting that running back to run away from him horizontally so he's not going upfield. So just allowing other defenders to come clean up the mess that he made, right? That's what we're talking about there. At his height, his challenge is going to be making sure that he's able to launch out of his stance low enough. He did it okay going against most of the time. He seemed to line up off of right guard. They were playing a 4-3, and he would line up as the left defensive tackle. And he'd get kind of low, and it'll be a little bit easier in a sense, given that in the SEC, he'll be going against guys 6'4", 6'5", so that the height advantage is not so pronounced when you compare to him playing at the high school level in Kansas, where he might be going to a guy who's 5'11" or 6 foot or something, right? So that's just something he'll have to work on, develop. He doesn't do a bad job. It's just something that, given his height, is always going to be more of a challenge. Yeah, he's got the strength, he's got the athletic ability, he's got the speed. It's an impressive combination. Now for Missouri, guys, this commitment comes hours after Mizzou knocked off Kansas State. It's kind of a sign of what momentum within a program can do. All right, maybe this guy was leaning Missouri, and then this was the final straw. That can happen. That does happen. As soon as Texas beat Alabama, everyone's like, "Oh wow, Ryan Wingo, must be probably Texas lean," because of how that game went out the same day Missouri struggled against Middle Tennessee State. These games can have an impact, maybe more than they should, but they can, just in terms of creating momentum. And we've seen Drinkwitz recruit and get good players like this. What happens if Missouri starts winning 8-9 games a year? And Drinkwitz has a successful program. What happens then? This is maybe the first step. We'll see. And what if in a couple of years we're talking about a line, defensive line, where you have Marks here lined up at defensive tackle, because I think that's where he projects to. And right next to him, you have Williams Nwaneri. My gosh, the athletic ability is just ridiculous. Yeah, the athleticism itself might be enough to overwhelm a lot of SEC offensive lines. So getting guys like this huge, and it just gives you versatility. Because what if he stays at about 280? Well, you might be talking about someone like kind of like a Darius Robinson, who you might be able to kind of shuffle around. You could have that. We'll see what happens. But either way, this is a heck of a way for Missouri to start the class of 2025. It's always good to get number one on the board, especially when it's somebody local, not in state, but I mean, Overland Park is not that far from Missouri. You have somebody local enough to kind of serve as that ringleader and say, hey, come join me. We're doing things over here. Come on. That's always helpful. So big recruiting win for Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz. That's all I've got, guys. Big win in recruiting, and here we go. 2025 recruits. They'll keep coming, I'm sure. Thank you for checking out this video. Keep tuning in to Under the Yard Sports. We've got you guys covered for everything in the world St. Louis sports. See you next time.